Thank you, y'all, for coming in. Of course, this is Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 4, and I apologize for the delay. I had some issues that came up today, and also I have some details that I will be putting in this video. You know, sometimes, even if I have a scheduled time to do a video, something else is meant to happen so I can add it to this video, and that's exactly what happened. So Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 4. Remember yesterday when I did the upcoming video notice, I mentioned that if you have questions about text messaging, you can type the text message, who it came from, without giving their identity, and I will give you advice for free. So anyway, narcissism and text messaging. So I did parts 1, 2, and 3 already, and they were all lives. So the thing is this, y'all. When I'm doing lives, and lives can be short or long, you will have to go back and watch those lives because it's kind of like a soap opera. There's details of certain particular narcissists and text messaging situations because I give more than one. Now, I will give you like the basic example of which one I'm going to be talking about, but to get more and more details, you will have to watch Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 1, Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 2, and Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 3. And I will add those to the description box on this video. Okay, so I will start with the example of the married person texting you, okay? And I also mentioned that in my case, because I'm a lady, this will be a man that's texting me, a married man of a couple that I know. They're friends of mine. But I also mentioned that this same scenario will happen for men as well. So if you are a man and you're single and you're unmarried, even without a girlfriend, another man's wife may start making passes at you, of course, behind their husband's back. And in my case, doing it behind their wife's back. So I'm going to start with the married situation. Now, in that particular case, thank you so much for the like. In the married man case, I've known this individual since childhood. Okay. Most married people will have a few single friends. Most of their friends may be married. Some married people don't have any married friends. because a lot of their friends stay single. So people that are unmarried and people that are married do intermix with one another, and they do communicate, and they do keep very close bonds. However, when you are friends with a married couple or married couples, they will tend to trust you, okay, which is a good thing, because I wouldn't have a single friend around my man or husband and I didn't trust her on just a basic level. You're just going to kind of assume that they're not going to be coming for my spouse. And I'm that type of friend. So if I'm your friend, you ain't got to worry about me trying to talk to your husband, okay? So the instinct of the wife is correct, is that I would not talk to her husband. However, this does not change the problem that happens. So let's get into the text message. So we will start with the ongoing saga of the married person. So I'm going to read to you the last text that I got, because I go through each case by case. I also want to add this. The reason I am finding that text messaging is such an important thing is this. Okay, listen to me very carefully. Even though all 10 people could be narcissists, just say they're all narcissists. This is the catch with text messaging. Listen to me very carefully. Each person that text messages you, so say all 10 of them are narcissists. Each person wants something different from you. This is why text messaging is so challenging and is such a problem, and it will get you ensnared and abused and in horrible situations. So all 10 people, let me give you an example. So say you got 10 people texting you and they're all narcissists. I will get to the comments in just a second, y'all. All 10 of them want something different. So let me give you an example. One wants some money. The other text messenger wants some sex. The other text messenger wants to provoke you and keep you upset. The other text messenger wants to know when you're not going to be home so they can rob your house. The other text messenger may be a witch and want to plant something in your home to put a curse on you. Okay. These are 5 real things that have happened to people. The other text messenger, which would be the 6th one, they might want to get you on some dope. The 7th one may want to lace you, give you some dope where you'll never be the same. The 8th text messenger may want to, for a lady, take you out and date rape you. Give you something to, give you a date rape drug. The 9th one, and I've watched this, y'all, on Breakbeat Media, where a man was set up by his friend and he was gang raped. So number 9, they want to gang rape you. This happens for men. I cried like a baby when I watched that case. About 6 men raped this gentleman. Number 10, they just want somebody to emotionally and mentally torture. The number 10 texter, they're just miserable, and they have a lot of time on their hands. And if you'll take their text messages and calls, they just want to release missiles on you constantly, like psychological warfare. So these are 10 text messengers, but all of them have a different goal and thing that they want from you. This is why I'm doing these series on narcissists and text messaging. Now, through text messaging, the good thing about the text message is through the text messaging, because you can read it, you will kind of be notified of what they want. So for example, if they want number 1, money, they will text you and ask you for that. So you know what their goal is. They want my money. Okay. So this is why text messaging, we need to get into the details of it. Oh, I'll add a number 11. They want to have an affair with you. They're married and they want to have an affair. So that's 11 examples of things that people will want from you when they're text messaging you. So let me get to the comments here. Nathan Maggie, welcome back. Welcome back. Nathan Maggie, K2I, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming into the live. I appreciate you so much. So with narcissism and text messaging, this is part 4, of course. So I'm going to go over the married man case, okay? And I'm going to go, remember he was texting me from a work phone. Outside of his wife, y'all. His wife, of course, is not seeing this. So the last 3 texts, the last one I read to you was I see you. I went over what that means in part 1, 2, or 3. It's in narcissism text messaging part 2 or 3. I went over the I see you text. So you got to go back to those videos to see what that means. The next one comes in on Monday, December 8th. Hi. Just hi. This stuff means nothing, y'all. These text messages have no meaning, and there's nothing intellectual about hi. And I mean that literally. Okay, hold on one second, John. There's nothing that you're learning from just hi. Okay. If I came on this channel and all I said was hi, nobody would come here. It ain't a darn thing you getting out of hi, but that's what was sent. Okay, then Thursday, December 11th, the married man says, do we have a problem? And remember, I told you in narcissism text messaging 2 and 3, when we did the homework of a couple of people I blocked, I did not block this number. Okay. So the married man's number is not blocked because I can't do the video, right? Some things, because I have a channel, I have to kind of keep an open window of it. And I talked about, the blocking issue as well. That so you got to go back and watch those lives, okay? So now the married man is saying, do we have a problem? This is Thursday, December 11th. I pointed out in the other videos, he will not be texting me on the weekend because he's married. So I did not reply. I don't reply to this married man on this text phone or work phone. The work phone that he's using as a text phone, which is a form of disrespect towards his employer. When you're repeatedly all throughout the day, you're at a job that's not your company. This is not his company. He's working for a major corporation on the West Coast. He don't own this company. And this is what he does on company time. So he's disrespecting his wife and crossing a boundary. And he also is crossing a boundary with his job. And I'm not going to help him do it. Okay. So imagine you have a company and you got 18 married people that's making all kind of freaking mistakes. They fucking your company up because they texting, trying to get a side chick, texting everybody but their wife. Okay. So he texts me December 11th on a Thursday. And the married man says, do we have a problem? I do not reply. And the reason I don't reply is because it ain't no we. It's no we. See, this is not my husband. So there is no we. Okay. But he's been doing this since February of 2025. And I did reply to a few of them, but then I caught myself. And see, that's the confusing part about being empathic. The way we pull out the game, right? Once we realize that we're entering into a situation that's inappropriate, being empathic, we just stop ourselves. That's the beautiful thing. I'm able to say, no, what I'm doing ain't right. Let me stop that. I'm going to get into some trouble. So he says, do we have a problem? So one important reason of why you don't want to respond is so you can contact the person. See, if these texts are meaningless, Hello, what's your problem? I see you. Hi, do we have a problem? This is meaningless. He's giving you somewhat of the information, but if you just stay on text, you don't get the benefit of the phone call. Okay. So remember, I mentioned in this case, this is someone I've known since childhood. Actually, I knew him before he met his wife. These situations will be very unique because who's actually your friend is the married person that's trying to make a pass at you because of the simple fact you knew them first. Sometimes you will know someone's husband before you know their wife. I knew him for many, many years before he met his wife, since childhood. Okay. So this just came out of the blue. He's deciding, his unconscious mind is deciding that he wants to play around on his wife. He's probably bored. She may be in a sustained evaluation. He's just a sneaky man. I'm not the first woman that he's done this to. Many, many years ago, decades ago, I was actually present when he was coming on to basically, let's say, one of his coworkers. Okay. I suggested to him that he don't do that. And I told the lady that he was making the pass at that he was married. I felt very bad about it because he was actually doing it in front of me. And I told the lady, I said, he's married. You know what he told me? This man said, but I'm not married to you, Irene. I just got quiet. It's right. He's not married to me. But I didn't like them both cheating around and messing around. And I mean, this was heavy flirting, touching, and it was very inappropriate. He was acting like he didn't even have a wife. He sure did. This was decades ago. So way before he tried coming at me, he was doing this with another coworker. Let's just call her a coworker. So now this married man is saying, do we have a problem? I didn't respond because there's no we. This not my man. See, when you're single, you got to make sure that you are living a single life. Whether you a male or a female, when you live a single life, you don't have to put up with this shit. You ain't got this problem. So why am I going to be text arguing with somebody's husband? I'm not going to do it. Okay. And I mentioned in parts, Narcissist and Text Messaging part 2 and 3, I mentioned in those videos why. Okay. I want you to go watch those videos. I mentioned why you should not remind a married person that they're married. Okay, I'll tell you why. So you got to go back and watch those videos for that. So I don't reply, but not text messaging will do this. It gets you on the phone. And once you get on the phone, this is where, see, texting can go on for the next 100 years, but you want to get on the phone so they can finish themselves off, because that's what they're going to do. If you get a person off text messaging and you get them on the phone, they're going to finish themselves off. They're going to hang themselves, finish themselves off, and unalive themselves. So I ignore the text, but like I said, I'm allowed to contact this person. I've been knowing him since childhood. His wife knows I call. I call them both. Okay. I may talk to him a little bit more because I knew him first. Okay. Remember, I knew the married man since childhood. I met his wife decades later. Okay. So I make a phone call. So it's kind of quiet. I said, what's going on? Everything okay? He says, yeah, my wife she's gone. She's gone, Irene. I said, where's your wife gone to? What's going on? Well, she called me and she said she's never returning. I said, what? Y'all got little children. He says, well, the children are grown, Irene. I said, no, they not. The youngest one is under 9 years old. Okay, I'm just throwing out an age here. And the other one's a teenager. The youngest two. So what do you mean she's not coming back? I mean, that doesn't sound like something your wife will do. What do you mean she's never coming back? Well, she was supposed to go on this business trip, and she called me, and she said she's gonna stay in the area of the business trip so she can be around her family and make more business deals. She's gonna do that for 2 years, Irene. I said, wow, that's deep. I said, are you serious? He said, yeah, she's gonna be gone for 2 years. I said, well, are you okay with that? He says, yeah, it's okay. I mean, she can do what she want to do. I said, your wife can do what she want to do. Yeah, that's how I view relationships. She can do what she want to do, and I can do what I want to do, is what he said. This is part of the grooming process where what somebody is doing is they're giving a fake set of morals so that you can become comfortable following their morals, and so that it's a grooming process, and it's something that predators will do no matter how old you are. They will give you a fake set of morals and make it appear like they're actually following these morals, but they're not following the morals. Okay. So I'm like, wow, this was like really some off the wall information. But check this out. None of it was true. The only part of it was true is that thank you so much for coming back into the live. So listen, y'all, I mentioned, in case you missed this part, whoever just came back, I got the married man on the phone. That's why you got to get off these texts, y'all, because they don't really complete hanging themselves like they do on a phone call. Somebody completely hangs themselves on a phone call. So well, they didn't stay in here to listen, so I'm not going to repeat it. If you leave the live, I'm not going to repeat it. I was going to repeat it if they stayed in the live, but they'll watch it later. People watch it later. People got stuff to do, y'all. So he's telling all these lies, because I actually found out through some of our friends that all of that was lies. His wife is actually right in town right now. She ain't gone nowhere, y'all. All of this was lies. Now, he's actively trying to have affairs on his wife. So what he's doing, he's telling any potential side chick, whether it be me or someone else, that his wife has abandoned him. He's lying on his wife. Also assassinating her character as well, making it appear like even though there's no court order and they're not in a divorce, she's chose to abandon her 8-year-old and her teenager. Those are the youngest children. He's actually presenting it like this is a woman that's left, and she says she won't be back. He's also behaving like she did it, like she's a domestic violence victim. Like, that's how you would do if you were being beat up by a man or a lady. You would go out of town and let them know by phone coming back so that you're safe. So he's presenting it that way. All of these were lies. But if I only text message, and if I don't ignore these text messages, that lie he told me, he would not tell that over the text message. That's why you got off the text message and ignore them, because the real lie and juicy information, they're going to tell you not in writing. Okay. But if you keep texting and replying to a married person, you never get that. You never get them to the lie. The thing is, you want to get them to the lie quicker so you fully know what their motive is. And remember, I gave you like 11 reasons that someone's text messaging you. And I also explained in the beginning of the video that each person that's text messaging you, they all want something different from you. I explained that. I gave you 11 reasons. And one of them is to have an affair with you. Remember? So this is a married man that's looking for an affair. So I found out that everything he said was a lie. What did I do about it? Nothing. So in this video, I'm going to tell you another piece of advice that I already gave you some juicy advice in Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 2 and Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 3 about married people. Okay, I explained to you in there why to just ignore them. So another piece of advice is you do not confront a married person that's lied to you about their spouse. And the reason you don't do it is because that's a form of reminding them that they're married and you're behaving like you're having an affair with them. Now, if you are having an affair with a married man or woman, which you shouldn't be, it's not a good idea. But if you are in a affair or relationship with this married person and they're lying to you, y'all was supposed to spend some time together and they lied to you and said their wife was out of town or at another location and she's really not, then you're in an affair. So you're confronting someone you're actually in a romantic relationship with. But when you are not in an affair with a married man, you don't say nothing to him. He could lie and say his house caught on fire. It ain't got nothing to do with you. It really doesn't. So I am not having an affair with this married man. So whatever lie he tells me, I do not confront him about it. Okay? The other piece of information, you got to go watch those videos to understand why not to let them know other things. But in this video, I'm going to tell you, do not let him know or her know that you know that they lied. Because what they're doing is this, in a slick way, the married person that's looking for an affair, and it's low down to try to have an affair or initiate an affair with people that you and your wife know. That's pretty wicked. It's no respect for their spouse or themselves. They're so desperate that they're willing to have an affair with somebody that's sitting right around their wife or husband. That's bad. So that whole story he told me, saying his wife wasn't coming back for 2 years, she's going to stay on this business trip. Yeah, she's even abandoned our 2 youngest children. He tried to groom me into thinking that, hey, it's all okay. You know what he said? He said, well, what if your wife's having an affair since she's going to be gone for 2 years? You know what he said? He said, well, as long as the new man that she get start bringing some money into their house, he fine with it. He said, I don't care if my wife has another man or side dude, long as that man donating to the household. And this is supposed to be a spiritual man, y'all. With this situation, you know what I feel? I feel like I'm so glad I'm not her. Because she got a snake, right? She's married to a snake. Now, if you go around them, you would never know. He keeps up a whole facade. But the last time I saw them together, he had this sneaky type of smirk on his face, like a disingenuous happiness. They were taking photos and it was like a big photo shoot. We were at an event that I attended. And that particular event, I went alone because Daniel was in that situation. So he was not able to come with me at that event. And Isaiah was at work. So I even though traditionally I have one or more of my family members with me, for that particular event, I went alone. And, my kids are older. They're not going to always be with me, y'all. So he had this fake smirk. And so when I look back at that last event I went to, I could see the fakeness there. And I did notice it at the event. I didn't just notice it because he started making passes at me. I noticed it at the event. And one of the married men that does not have affairs does not have affairs, was openly talking to me at the event. Not this married man, but the other married man. Okay. Not this married man that's texting me. The married man that does not have affairs on his wife, he was the one engaging and talking to me along with his wife and kids. So, if you're a married woman or man, notate that. If you see your man or woman talking to a single person openly, they're not even hiding it, right? They don't want that person. They chit-chatting with them. They treating your company kind. They're not discriminating where, oh, I'm only going to talk to the married couples. So that particular married man at that particular event that was talking to me, he's a faithful married man. He would never make a pass at me. Okay. Now, this particular married man that's texting me, this one's different, but the red flag was there. And I noticed it at the event. So he's told me a whole lie about his wife ain't coming back for 2 years. She's abandoned the family. All of it's lies. I actually heard his wife's voice, y'all. Remember, I've been knowing him since I've been a kid. I was on the phone and heard his wife's voice. Sure did. At another event. I didn't attend this event, but I said, who is that laughing in the background? So the person told me who the person was. It was this individual's wife. She ain't out of the country. She's not out of town. She hasn't abandoned the family. She's not in another state. She's right here on the West Coast. He told a whole lie. He lied on his wife. Thank you so much for the light. He said his wife abandoned their children and tried to say they wasn't children no more. He said it's cool to what she want to do and what he want to do. He told all these lies. He did. He told it all and did it without a conscience, y'all. Now, this advice and suggestion, and this is a must. I don't say anything. I don't tell him I know because I don't care. See, if I call him and say, why you lie to me and say that your wife gone and she really here? Why you lie to me, brother? That's wrong of you. I thought we was tighter than that. Then I'm acting like I want to have an affair with the man. He's actually, if I start acting like that, he's pulling me into an affair. He's actually pulling me and ensnaring me into an affair. That's called an emotional affair. If I start acting like that, I'm having an emotional affair with somebody else's husband. And I'm not messing with nobody's husband. So I don't say anything. Now, what I will do as of now, and this is why I'm going to do this. I give advice for free and stuff like that. However, there's a pet peeve that I have. This is a pet peeve, even with y'all on this channel. If y'all put some in the chat and you got a question, I want it to actually be a real live situation. If I find out that the questions you asking are lies, even though I have never blocked anyone from my chat thus far, if I find out and legitimately find out that everything you typing in my chat never happened and is a lie, I'm going to block you because it's fine that I do this for free. Okay, I do this for free and the Lord likes what I do. However, that is a waste of my time. When I'm giving advice and suggestions, I want it to be a real life situation, not no made up situation. No made up situations. That's just cruel and dishonest. And, if you start making up whole situations like that, I'm not really sure what your motive is. I think you're just extremely psychopathic to just make all that up like that. It don't make no sense. If you're going to ask me a question, make sure it's a real situation. So he lied about this whole thing. And he wants to provoke me, even with the text messages. Do we have a problem? What's your problem? I see you. All of these texts that he's doing from this work phone. Now, what I do is I text on their regular phone. And I asked him, I said, are you and your wife going to hang out at that event? Now, when I bring up him and his wife, he ignores it. because he has an agenda for me. So see, this is the thing. With text messaging, they have a agenda, okay? And whatever they want from you, they've determined that you're a target. So this is what he wants is an affair with the lady that he probably prefers to be single. There's criteria there. A married man may not want to have an affair with another married woman, or a married woman. I'm not a married woman, but he may not want to have an affair with a married woman because she's sleeping with a husband. But with me, I'm not sleeping with anybody. So he may rather have an affair with me because there's no other man. Okay. Which I kind of get that criteria. That's the narcissist in some way making a logical decision if the choice that they're trying to make is the best one that will benefit them. Okay. He doesn't want to mess with a married woman and her husband give her a disease, and then that married woman that he's messing with gives him a disease. So he's trying to use some sort of criteria as to why he's picking me, or trying to decide that I'm a good pick to have an affair with versus someone else's wife. Also, he doesn't want to be attacked by somebody else's husband. I told y'all the story of how my ex-husband was messing around with my bridesmaid and her husband went off. I'll do a separate video about that at some point on how I feel about that, and how I feel towards the lady. She was a victim. She was messing with my ex-husband. She was my bridesmaid. She was victimized by him as well. Most likely my ex-husband started the affair with her. He sure did. I guarantee you he made the first pass. She didn't make the first pass. I seriously doubt that. I don't think that was her nature. And if she did make the first pass, that's a real sneaky ass friend I had. But I'm going to say 99.9% my ex-husband made that pass on that woman with them big old hips. He sure did. So I'll do another video explaining how I feel. But with the married narcissist, so that's told the lie that his wife has abandoned him and all of that, I don't let him know that I know that he lied, because I'm not having an affair. See, he's lining me up to decide if I'm a fair criteria. So if I start calling him, why you lie to me? See, I shouldn't care if a married man is lying to me. Now, what I am going to do is cease phone calls with him. I won't tell him that I know that he lied on his wife, assassinated her character, and is trying to groom me into changing my morals and standards. I'm not going to tell him that I know that he lied, but I will cease contact. So I will stop contact. So what ultimately begins to happen is this childhood friend that's married, he begins to lose my friendship. So that's the result of that. Okay. So that case is over. Let me go on to the next case. So the married case is settled. Again, go watch Narcissist Part 1, Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 1, and Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 2. That will be in the description box. So going on to the next example. One of the things that was on the list that I gave you that narcissists want from you is money. So they will text you, and it will start with smaller sums of money. They will ask you for $20, $30, $40, $50. Now, the thing is, when they're text messaging you for money, you are being groomed. Over time, the amounts will get larger. Okay. So also, small money is big money. So over time, especially if you're on a fixed income, it can affect your budget. And when you have high rents and mortgages, you're living like you're on a fixed income, because over 70% of your household income could be going towards that rent or mortgage. You know, these rents or mortgages, even for some of the smallest places, are over $2,000 now. 1,800, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, whatever they are. You're in there somewhere because the rents have just skyrocketed. So with this example, I'm off of the married example. I'm on to the next example with the financial move. So people that ask you for money, when I ask somebody for money, I call them. Now, if you are going to loan money out and you choose to do that, it's good to have a text message communication. But for me, it's appropriate. Like if I want money from you, I should be brave enough to call you and ask you, not text you. So when someone texts you and asks you for money, they're acting very shy and scary and highly narcissistic. They're showing that they don't have good intentions. And usually when someone is texting asking you for money, they're going to continue to do that. So the text message is going to become their missile against you. That's the weapon they're going to use. So you want to take that weapon out of their hand by calling them and saying, no, I have expensive bills. And the good thing about it is when they're only asking you for $20, $30, $40, $50, normally no more than 50, 100 at the highest, maybe 200 for some, but I'm going to go with these lower amounts because the lower amounts that they're texting you is how they're going to be grooming you. So what's going to happen is every week, so they're saying they want to borrow it. They want to borrow it, but okay, say they do pay it back. The next week, they want to borrow it again. See, once you start loaning somebody small amounts every week or two, they're going to be hitting you up for $20, $30, you know, getting their little weed bag money. You they weed bag money, okay? You they sleeping pills money. You they whatever little side whatever vice they got going on, whatever addiction they got, you that little money that they're gonna be getting to pull that through. So for example, I worked with the gentleman. He was kind of like an adopted nephew to me. He originally lived like in the Midwest as well. He was very young. He was like an adopted nephew. And real nice little guy. So he started texting me. It was over a year ago. It's been probably a year and a half. It's been at least a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. And he knew I was an empath. He sure did. He had watched me. He had worked with me. He had sat with me for hours and hours after work when we would hang out in the lobby. And he knew I was an empath. He sure did. And so he had targeted me. So we're no longer at that job. That was many years ago. So going on 2 years ago, he started targeting me. He would listen to me talk to my sons. He would hear me giving them money to go to the store. And he lined me up. He determined, hey, I'm getting ready to be like one of her other sons. So he started texting me, asking me for $20. He also would call me and say that he had a life-threatening emergency. And he needed me to come right away because he had been robbed or something that went on, and he needed me. So he was lining me up. He was testing me. I passed the test. I said, brother, you got to call 911. Sound like you need the police. And see, in situations like this, what can happen, the reason I'm this way is because I don't put nothing past nobody. That's how you get yourself robbed and set up too. Because he knows me. He knows that I have valuables on me. If you take my backpack, just my backpack, you got about $2,000 worth of merchandise. Straight up. If you take my backpack off my back, you got $2,000 to $5,000 worth of merchandise. You really do. Taking my backpack benefits you because you got devices, You didn't got half of my YouTube devices. Um, you didn't got about $1,000 worth of gift cards. You got my wallet. You basically you got my purse. You got something bigger than a purse. And I ain't lying about that. I'm not trying to brag, but I use a backpack like a cooler system type backpack. So when I'm walking in the rain, um my devices and stuff in it doesn't get wet. So if you get like one of those cooler system type backpacks, it can be kind of like waterproof, but that's straight up. And so when people know that type of stuff about you, they'll line you up and set you up. So I didn't go. Now, what is the result? With this particular ex co-worker that was asking me for the $20, I no longer hear from him. He does not message me on Facebook anymore. He does not send me text messages asking me for money. He started going in and out of jails, so it's very much possible that he's incarcerated again. He was going through some legal battle. So sometimes when he stops texting and calling, he is incarcerated. One time his mother was messaging me that he was in jail and was asking me for money to help him. So even before this ex coworker, that's kind of like an adopted nephew to me, even before he started asking me for $20, his mother, and I mean, I'm not saying nothing bad about his mother, but what I can say about his mother, he's biracial, so his mother's like white and Indian, and she's a horrible role model. She sends him to go buy cigarettes, and she's had abusive men. It's a trouble situation. Both of them are from the Midwest. They're not from here. So we bonded on that level. I talked to his mom and stuff, but I wouldn't want her to be my mama. That's all I got to say. So I don't want no mama that's sending me to the store to buy cigarettes or crack or none of that. I'm just glad she ain't my mama. And if I had a mama like that, I would be glad that my mama don't come around. I don't need that in my life. So that particular, come to find out, he was being very abusive towards women. He was threatening women. He had some troubled women as well that were behaving abusive towards him. And of course, this is not the married man case. This is my ex co-worker / adopted nephew. So in these type of relationships, another thing that a person like this wants, remember I said when they're text messaging you, they all want something. So what he wants is for me to be his mommy. Okay. He wants me to be his mommy. Okay. And I'm not looking for no more children. So he completely went away. The goal is to get them to go away. So you're not ensnared and you're not going to become their victim. If I had sent him that $20, he'd be texting me right now today for another 20. You're keeping outsiders in your budget. When you're repeatedly loaning money out to family and friends, you're keeping them within your monthly budget and they should not be there. People that are outside your household that you have not taken responsibility for, they should not regularly be in your monthly budget or your weekly budget. So, vanish. So, suggestion, in the way I live, when somebody texts me for money, just because they text and ask me for it, they don't get it. That's disrespectful to me. Call me. So when you text and ask me for money, that's a form of disrespect to me, and I will not give it to you. Because for one, I don't feel nothing for you, right? So I'm empathic, so I pick up on emotions, right? So when you call me, I hear your little sad voice. I can hear if it's genuine or not. I can hear if you actually trying to do something about your situation. I could genuinely hear your car running out of gas and you trying to start it up and you can't. I can genuinely hear your real problem. If you texting me for money, I don't trust your ass. I don't hear nothing. So there's no connection for me to text you or for me to give you the money, not text you. I didn't respond when that little adopted nephew of mine that I used to work with, when he texted me that, I called him. Like, no, I'm a real motherfucker. You texting me for $20, I'm gonna call you and say no. I'm gonna call you and say I don't have it. And I did not give it to him. So what I'm saying passive aggressively is the money you hear me giving out to people when they go into the store for me, I'm giving that to my children, man. You're not one of my kids. I do not allow no male that's not actually someone I gave birth to become a son to me. I don't know why they think I'm looking for more sons. I am not. I am not looking for another son. I'm grateful for the sons I have, but I ain't out here trying to find no new one. And I'm just being honest to the Lord on that. So that's that situation. So I'm leading you into a direction where you know what the motive is, what they want, and why not to do it. See, because you're not going to fix this problem saying, well, I'm just not going to text anybody. That's not going to happen because you got to text your bosses and jobs now. They send alerts for doctor's appointments. I love the texting for the alerts of appointment times. I love those. You want to get those texts. So you are going to get texts. But what I'm doing is giving you a case-by-case basis. Then you will free yourself of being ensnared through texting because you know why, you know what their motive is, and you know where it's going to lead because I'm explaining it to you case by case. Overall, guiding you into a road where you're not compartmentalizing everyone that texts under one umbrella. You're separating these people. No, I'm not going to text him because he's asking me for money. I'm not going to text her because she's trying to have an affair with me. Saying like I'm a man, like she's trying to have an affair. I'm giving an example because I'm pointing out that ladies and men can be victimized, okay? Anyone can be victimized, and it begins through the text. I'm freeing myself. I'm going to be going into the new year, and I'm freeing myself on a case-by-case basis. People never get free of being ensnared through text because they put everybody together. They say, oh, I'm just not going to text no more. That doesn't work. That usually will not work, especially if you are an emotional person. It will not work. But what works is case-by-case basis. See, because in your personal life, you can discriminate. You're not on a job. In my personal life, I could say, I don't date people that wear leather pants. If I meet a man and he got on a pair of black leather pants and they look shiny and new like this leather recliner I got, I'm not going to date him. See, in your personal life, you have a right to do that. You can discriminate. You can be biased. You can have a preference. And I'm teaching you how to do it, but you got to do it on a case-by-case basis. And that adopted nephew, he don't call me. He don't text me. He could be in jail. He could not. He don't call me for nothing because I'm not a supply source. The married man that I've been knowing since childhood, he didn't contact me. He ain't contacted me since he told that lie because I'm not showing I'm a good supply source. Okay, so the next example, so I'm over that one. See how case by case basis, I'm wiping them out case by case. Next case. And I truly believe I wouldn't be able to do this if I'm compartmentalizing all my text friends in one umbrella. Don't text nobody. I'm not going to do that. I have to do case by case. And so the next case would be, you got to go watch Narcissist Part 1, Narcissist Part 2, Narcissist Part 3. They're called Narcissist and Text Messaging. Again, I will have those in the description box. You got to watch those because the third case I'm going to be discussing for this video is the case of the gentleman that is an unaware narcissist, that's an abuser, that had been trying to ask me out for the last 5 years and I refused. So I went over the example of how he tried to be passive aggressive and send me the video of the little girl. Watch those videos. I can't go over what happened. So I did not allow him to use a child to antagonize me. So I ended my last text very positive with the intention of never texting this man again. So notice in most of these cases, I'm telling you the strategy. You got to learn strategy. And this is something that you don't learn when you're just blocking people. Okay, you don't learn strategy when you're just blocking people. Back in the era I was raised, there was no block. You couldn't block these people. So we learned strategy. And strategy is what makes you dissect them on a case-by-case basis. So anyway, going on to this third example for this video, this is the third example for this video. That particular man is a single man, unaware narcissist. He even during a sexual encounter with his ex-wife decades and decades ago, when she was in pain, he asked her, what the fuck is wrong with her? This is what he tells me. But he wants to go out with me, right? I don't want to hang around this type of dude. Why would I want to be around a man that talks to his wife like that? So what happens in this kind of situation, because I was so positive, he was passive aggressive. Basically, he was using a little pretty black girl to pretty much say, you a broke ass bitch. You ain't got what that little girl got, which he doesn't know that for sure, right? But this is what an unaware narcissist does. He's making a lot of assumptions based on a very old conversation we had over 5 years ago about money. He actually does not know if I got 5,000, 10,000, 50,000. He really does not know what's in my bank account. Only I know. So with that particular narcissist, this is example number 3. He's an unaware narcissist. He decides not to text me. He called me. Okay. And that's why I'm so glad that I was in a delay starting this video today. I actually started this video later than what I had originally said yesterday. Viewers do not like when I say that I'm going to do a video the next day and never do it. Y'all will give me a pass if I come on here a little late, but y'all get real mad if I don't do it. So I knew, I said, my subscribers and viewers, especially my subscribers, they like me to actually, when I say at this time I'm doing a video and say I would have waited till tomorrow afternoon to do this video, they unsubscribe. They sure do. My subscribers do not like when I say I'm going to do something the next day. And so I've learned that. So I try to respect how my subscribers are, because they're that way. Every time I've done that with my subscribers, say, okay, well, I'm gonna do this the next day, this the next day. If I say I'm gonna do it the next day and don't do it, they get pissed off. So anyway, going back to this example number 3 for this particular video would be the unaware narcissist that I talked about. If you want to know more about them, you got to go watch Narcissist Part 2 and 3 and Narcissist Part 1, Narcissist and Text Messaging. They're all lives. I even have a playlist now, Narcissist and Text Messaging. Check my playlist. I have over 100 playlists for you, y'all. So with this particular gentleman, I told him, I said, I'm so proud of the little girl. I hope she gets more. I hope she's very blessed. So what that does is this. That actually puts me in a danger zone, because he says, oh, she's not actually picking up on my insult. Oh, she's slow. Yeah, that's a retarded bitch. Yeah, I got me one here. This is how an unaware narcissist is going to think. An unaware narcissist, he'll talk like that out loud too. He'll be in his house by himself and he'll say, oh, that stupid bitch. Oh, this is the nice one. I know how to get this bitch. So what he does, he doesn't text me any more videos because he can't get the violent or aggressive response. With the unaware narcissist, I never get aggressive. I never tell them what they're doing wrong. Now, if he was an aware narcissist, like my ex was an aware narcissist. An aware narcissist that's a little bit more skilled, I will tell them what they doing because they know they wrong. They inherently know that shit is wrong. An aware narcissist, when he takes my purse, he know damn well he shouldn't have my purse in my wallet, putting it in his car, taking it home with him to look through it, to find who my new man is, and telling me about it. Yeah, I got your purse. I want to see who the new man is. So, but an unaware narcissist, they're your worst. And the danger of an unaware narcissist, they may actually believe they're an empath and have never done anything empathic. An unaware empath, they ain't a ride or die for nobody. They can't tell you nothing that they ask have done for 10 or 15 years to help anybody or take care of anybody. They are deadbeat parents. Unaware narcissists, they will be very loyal to their careers. But even with their careers, they start a lot of shit at their job. I talked about that in the Narcissism Text Messaging Part 1, 2, and 3. You got to watch those videos. I've talked about it in my lives. I talk a lot of stuff in my lives, y'all, and I give you a lot of information. Okay. Oh, speaking of information, I found out YouTube does these live highlights. So guess what YouTube does, y'all? I didn't know what they were. They come up as private short videos, but it'll say live highlight. So what YouTube does, and some of them I deleted, y'all. I made a mistake. I deleted some of them. I'm so sad, but most of them I didn't. Most of them I deleted because I thought that it was like one of the lives I was starting that I got out of because I messed it up too quick. So the live highlights, I posted some in my shorts. So those last few shorts I did, one of them is even me talking crazy, talking about how you got to get on your child's ass if they come home from church and call you a Jezebel. Go in my shorts. YouTube did that highlight. And I went in and edited and named it. So what YouTube does, they take the crazy shit I say and the informative, knowledgeable stuff that I say, and when my live ends, YouTube determines which part that they liked, and they do a live highlight that gives me an opportunity to put it in public. They put it in private because YouTube is not violating my boundaries and posting me without my permission. But I was like, wow, YouTube is taking live highlights from my lives, and if I want to, I can post it and release it to the public and make it a short. One of the shorts, I got like 1,576 views on it. Thank you, YouTube. YouTube created that for me. Gosh, what a nice platform. I'm doing lives, and the platform that is allowing me to do lives actually takes part of what I say and make it a live highlight. And I can go in and release it to the public and give it a name and name it what I want to name it. I got 1,576 views just off one of those highlights. You got to go in my shorts. My shorts, that the last 8 videos in my shorts, you can find them. Okay. So they even created the live highlight of my son saying, yes, ma'am, to me, and, you know, talking about what he's getting from the store and looking for his big brother. I was like, wow, how nice. So anyway, going back to this example with the unaware narcissist, this is example number 3 for this live with the unaware narcissist that I turned down for over 5 years. I wouldn't go to the movies with them. I wouldn't go to a concert with them. I wouldn't go out to eat. I wouldn't go to his new homes that he purchased. I don't go anywhere. So he tried to passively aggressively, because the way he tried to pull me in was also through trying to offer me money that I truly don't believe he has because of the amount of debt that he's in. I'm not looking for a man that owes $1 million worth of debt, that he's going to die and leave it to me. I don't want his freaking bills. Okay. My goal for my life is to live a simple life, debt free. Everything in my house is paid off. Ain't nothing here not paid off. It's all paid off. That's the life I want to lead. Everybody else can keep going, finance and furniture and doing that. All my stuff is paid off. Okay. So when I actually do my homeowner's insurance, I'm actually, and yes, renter's insurance is all under homeowner's insurance, y'all. It's all under the same companies. My renter's insurance is through the same company that is your homeowner's insurance carrier. Okay. It's all the same shit now. Okay. So, when I'm assessing, how much insurance I want on my personal items, and I increase mine, y'all. I increase my insurance because my stuff is paid off. So yes, that mattress is $1,000. And if there's a fire, I want that $1,000 mattress. I want my mattress back. I sure do. So, or a better one. Hey, give me one for 2,000. And I got a deal on that, y'all. That mattress is valued at about almost $2,000, and I paid 1,000. So I'm saying 1,000 because that's how much I paid for this mattress. Okay. And you should know what mattress I got. You Posturepedic. You already know. You already know the brand now. Come on now. If you sleeping on a good mattress, you already know what one of the brand names is on that. Okay. So anyway, going back, and Posturepedic is good for back problems and stuff like that. It's very good. Even good for asthma patients. Okay. If you want your asthma to improve, get you a Posturepedic mattress. So anyway, so with this unaware narcissist and him trying to go as low as to use a little pretty black girl to insult or call me broke or whatever, it didn't work. So he didn't text me anymore. He's like, she's the nicey nice. She's not actually picking up on my passive aggressive abuse, right? So what he does, he said, he says this. He don't know he's saying this, but this is what he's saying. He's saying, I'm an unaware narcissist. I got me a good victim. He's the same man years ago. It's funny because he wants to believe in zodiacs when he wants to believe in it. So he says he's an Aries. So he sent me this list years ago of 10 things that I need to do to be with an Aries. And Scorpios, we help Aries organize their lives. Aries are very dedicated, hard workers, and they are providers. They will take care of the people they love. But Aries, they need organization. They need uplifting. They need a mentor. They need pep talks because Aries got a lot of fiery emotions. So where a Scorpio helps an Aries is, for one, Aries usually will want to help a Scorpio. They don't really want them as a supply source. They don't want to be overly reliant on a Scorpio, but they do appreciate the benefits. So this particular unaware narcissist, he only wants to believe in the zodiac when he wants to believe he's an Aries. So he sent me a list of 10 rules that a person would have to obey. Obey, y'all. Obey. They gotta obey them. And and actually, Aries obeys Scorpio. You know, like I have a relative that's an Aries. I try to help him with budgeting and planning so he doesn't go bankrupt within the next hour, right? So the Aries I'm around that I've been in close contact, they usually will allow me to have a major level of control so that I can help them with their major downfall. Okay. And what an Aries major downfall can be is becoming bankrupt within the next hour. Because Aries love money. All of them will have a little money handy now, but the debt that they get into, now some Aries will learn over time and begin to save. So this unaware narcissist that sent me the text message of the little girl, he tends to think he has control. So several years ago, he sent me a list of, what other signs need to do to follow Aries rules. Because he sees that fire part of that sign is very relevant to him. It's very relevant and important. And he feels like fire is strong, fire is hot. But for a Scorpio, fire is hell. You living in hell, dog. And my water puts out your fire, right? So, especially if it's not a grease fire. So, a grease fire, you need to go get some other elements. But in general, just a basic fire, 99% of fires just in a wooded area would not be a grease fire. So if I get the right amount of water, I can dump it on that little fire and put it out. And then a water sign, we ain't gonna let that fire get too big. See, the thing is with the fire signs, we're gonna minimize your fire. We might even stop you from setting the fire. Aries is a fire sign, but if I don't let you set that fire and I say start the fire or I'm gonna beat that ass, no fire starts. So that's the Scorpio nature. We ain't letting you start that fire. Not while we gonna tell you gonna start a fire, dog, while I'm standing here? Really? If you don't put that match down, and we're going to snatch your matches out your hand and your lighter. You ain't starting no fire. So, but this unaware narcissist, if he's going to believe in the concept of the zodiac, being a baby that's pretty much born in the springtime versus somebody that survived the winter in their mama's wound and know he was cold. I know I was cold. I'm telling you, I got cold in my mama's womb. I sure did. So it's just logically, if you're going to really get into the zodiacs and study on that, you need to know about more than just the sign you are. So what he could have done was studied on what a Scorpio nature is. Very fixed nature, usually following their own rules. Scorpios are creating rules, right? We're definitely the leaders and masters of all crafts. So what he should do is just see what Scorpio does. And as soon as he sent me the rules, I said, list of 10 Aries rules. Fuck this nigga think he is. That's what the Scorpio doing. The Scorpio's like, follow his motherfucking rules. I don't even know this man. I hang around this man. This is how Scorpio thinking. Scorpio's like, he's telling me what to do and I haven't given him permission. Scorpios, we feel like we got to give you permission for you to do it too. We believe in a hierarchy, respect. God damn it, God, G-O-T, not God. Respect. Where's the respect? With a Scorpio, it should work like this. Hey, gentlemen, I respect you so much. I think I should be following some of your rules. Can you send me some of your rules to help me get along with you? Because I've gained a lot of respect for you. Send me your rules, please. But no, you don't come giving them the rules. We do allow the Scorpios to do that, though. I'll let another Scorpio get away with it. Long as he or she ain't telling me to jump from a bridge. Because I know that another Scorpio rules are beneficial to me. Aries rules, they're team members and business partners. That's what I can say. Aries, they're definitely team members and business partners. And you will get better on their team if you stay detached. That much I know. But If you got a Aries for like a son or daughter, niece or nephew, then you're in good standing because um, they're one of your providers and caretakers, and there's someone that truly loves you. Okay, or you got a brother that's an Aries, sister that's an Aries. You know, you'll definitely be helped and loved. I can say that. However, I would not want to date or marry an Aries. Okay, that would be a boundary I would have because I don't like fires. Okay. And I can't be married to a fire. So anyway, with this unaware narcissist, with the text messaging thing, he used the little girl. So what he does, remember, I said earlier, as a tactic, if you get off this text messaging, you want to bring them into the phone call and you make the phone call. This is when they completely hang themselves. Okay. And this is when you have the true motivation to be in a complete no contact with the texter, is when you bring them to the phone. That's when they're going to talk that shit. Bring them to that phone. So you got to get them off this text message so you don't keep being blinded by the unemotional text. Hi, how's your day? Happy Tuesday. You're not learning who this fucker is. You're not. So the unaware narcissist that I've been turning down for 5 years, that used the little pretty black girl as a means to try to antagonize me. It didn't work because you can't use no child to do that to me. I'm not gonna. I don't have it in me to be jealous of a child anyway. It's not my nature. I feel like a child is below me, and I'm supposed to be one of their mentors or motivators, not one of their jealous attackers. That's just how I view kids. In general, when I was a child, I was around a lot of people that was not jealous of me. So that's the example that adults set around me. They were not jealous. They were trying to help me get better in all ways. Most of the adults. There were a few that were. I could see some people were jealous of kids, but most people that I was raised around were not. However, I was in close contact with someone that was. And I mentioned that even with my grandmother. I could see it slightly in my grandmother. Okay, just slightly. I sure can when I look back and I understand jealousy in its fullest form. But most adults were not that way. They just were not. So with this unaware narcissist, he makes the phone call today. Now, in this case, I cannot answer the call. And this is why. For one, I'm going to stop answering his calls because of this empathy, right? I know I don't want to hang out with this man or go anywhere with him, right? And that bothers and hurts him. Even though he's an unaware narcissist, that's a trigger for him. So I'm not going to keep emotionally harming someone. Okay. Also, he made the phone call because with an unaware narcissist, I make the choice to not tell them what they are. I make the choice to not tell them what they're doing wrong. I play dumb. With an unaware narcissist, I just truly act dumb. Like I do not know what the hell they doing. With the unaware narcissist that I turned down for 5 years, I'm not going to say, you know what, dog, you tried to send me that video of that little girl to tell me how broke I am, dog. That hurt, dog. I'm not going to do that because for one, I don't feel that way. There's no envy I could have of that little black girl. I want her to have richness in all areas of her life. That's what I want for her. But with the unaware narcissist, also, if you confront them and say something to them, they're going to deny it. They're going to deny that. They're going to give you an excuse of why they had a right to do it. They're just going to say what they did is the right thing. And also, an unaware narcissist is going to pick up, or they're going to decide to talk about one of the mistakes they think you made. Okay, so they're going to go into an attack mode on you, and it's just not worth it. If you don't want to hang around this unaware narcissist, you don't want to go nowhere with them, Why you arguing with the unaware narcissist? So with this particular friend, I've known him for decades and decades. This unaware narcissist that tried to date and marry me. I never was intimate with this unaware narcissist. Now, when he called me, I already know what compartment he has me in now. He thinks that I'm the nice girl that does not pick up on his passive aggressive abuse. So now he wants me more because he actually, in his dumbass mind, believes I'm a good target for his ass. So he's like, oh, I could abuse this one and she don't even know what the fuck is going on. Damn, this stupid bitch didn't pick up on the video I sent her. I was insulting this hoe. She didn't pick up on it. Oh, I got me a good one. This is how the unaware narcissist think. So what he did, he called me. I thanked the Lord. I said, Lord, that's why you had me to delay this video today, because I needed to put this information in this video, Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 4. So what I did was I did not answer. I did not answer the call because I know what he wants. See, empaths, you should be using text messaging. You use text messaging for you to receive the text message so you know their agenda and goal and what they want from you. The narcissist text messaging is going to tell you as an empathic person, whether your personality is a normal, an empath, narcissistic, or narcissist. Even if you're a whole narcissist, you know what they want from you now. All personality types that HG Tutor has taught us about will get these text messages. I don't discriminate against personality. No matter what personality you are, I don't think you should be a supply source for someone that's trying to ensnare you through text messaging, even if you are a whole narcissist. It actually might be quite dangerous because if they're a narcissist and you're one too, it might go all bad. So all people want to prevent ensnarement. I don't think a narcissist being ensnared helps him or her. See, I'm not on here saying, I'm just on here trying to protect empaths, y'all. I hope that narcissists get ensnared in the text. I hope the narcissists get killed. I'm not on here saying that. My rules apply to all personalities. A normal does not need to be ensnared. An empath does not need to be ensnared. A narcissistic person does not need to be ensnared. And a narcissist does not need to be ensnared. These are the 4 personality types that HG Tutor talks about. And I believe wholeheartedly in these personality types. Nobody needs to be ensnared by damn text message abusers. I'm teaching you how to utilize it. And so you get what they or putting in a ingredient or you get what they're concocting against you, and then you know the information. And because that narcissist, that unaware narcissist, this example 3, because he sent me the video of the little girl, I know what he wants to do now. He doesn't even really want to abuse me through text messaging now. The unaware narcissist, he doesn't want to abuse me through text messaging because I'm just way too nice. See, I know what he is. So I know how to come at people. I know when to be nice. I know when to not be nice. I know when to be mediocre. The unaware narcissist, he ain't never called me out my name or did anything to me. So there's not even enough emotions there for me to come for him. So he want to stay off texting right now. Okay, the unaware narcissist, this example number 3, he's very dangerous to me. So what he wants, for him to do some real psychological warfare on me, he needs to have me on that phone now. I won't go around him in person. So he's probably for sure that he can't get me that way. But you can do a lot of psychological warfare on somebody over a phone. I've had it done to me already. I've had narcissistic people have a whole war with me right over the phone. So this unaware narcissist, he calls me today. He called me. Let me see what time. 6:45 p.m. 6:45 p.m. I got the missed call. Right then I said, this is it. I got to go to my live. I promised my viewers I would be doing my live. I got to go to my live. I sure do. I got to tell you what he wants, y'all. This unaware narcissist. Because, see, he could be a psychopath. Who knows? Say he's a psychopath, right? Because he thinks I didn't pick up on his passive aggressive nature when he texts me the video of the little girl. It would be quite fun for him to do psychological warfare on me because he actually believes I wouldn't know what is happening. But see, I'm not going to let him do it because I know me. I'm not going to let him do it and he'll get his ass cussed out and he would get his feelings hurt. And I don't want to hurt his feelings. I don't like enemies like that. I live on the West Coast. If I seen that man out in public, I want to just say, hey, how you doing? How things going at work? Keep it going. You don't want enemies in the community. As far as I know, this particular unaware narcissist is not armed, but I just don't want enemies, unnecessary enemies. Why create an enemy with somebody that you will not even go around? You won't even go out to eat with them. You won't go to any of their events. You won't go out to eat with them. You won't go to their home. Why do you need to create an enemy with an unaware narcissist that you don't fuck with? That's crazy to me. But when he called me today at 6:45 p.m. West Coast time, it was fun when he made that call too. He's like, this one, I'm going to get to commit psychological warfare on her right over the phone and she won't even pick up on it. He does this sick, I watched him on these Facebook videos. He does this sick kind of paradoxical laughing. And if you look up videos on paradoxical laughing, it will indicate that it's an indication of paranoid schizophrenia or different forms of schizophrenia. So they do this really paradoxical laughing. So look that term up and watch some of the videos. They will give examples of them. Some videos will even be making fun of these people, and I'm not going to do that. I'll give you one example. This unaware narcissist, I watched him on a Facebook live one time, and there was this boxing match, and the boxers, one of them was bleeding real bad. One of them was real handsome, and he was bleeding real bad. And this unaware narcissist, he couldn't stop laughing. I think he laughed on that live 30 minutes straight. He just couldn't stop laughing. And actually what it made me do is do some research, and I looked up constant laughing, and it brought up paradoxical laughing. This is when I first learned what paradoxical laughing is, or what the term is. I've seen people do it on mental health videos where they just can't stop laughing for no reason, but I didn't know what it was. Right. So this unaware narcissist, when I saw him doing it on that live over 5 years ago, because I'm his Facebook friend too. I was his Facebook friend. When I saw him do it on that live, I Googled more information because the laughing he was doing was kind of disturbing to me. It was very disturbing. And it was just I broke down laughing for a long time. You know, where I'm from in St. Louis, Missouri, we do a lot of laughing, right? We can laugh half the day. We really can. Um, but what I can say is if you're from St. Louis, Missouri, what you laughing at is really motherfucking funny. It's funny for real. Like you could get 90% of the state to laugh at that same shit, right? But me being from St. Louis, Missouri, and I consider it a laughing place that we where we do some laughing. Basically it's like this, y'all. If I gotta look up why you laughing so much, or I gotta Google constant laughing, what it means, disturbing laugh, his laugh made me uncomfortable. When I'm Googling shit like that, being from St. Louis, Missouri, and it brings up the disturbing and you know the disturbing and the red flag reasons on why somebody laughing, like they got paradoxical laughing due to different severe mental health issues, one of them being schizophrenia. Now, not all people with schizophrenia will act like that. If a person has paradoxical laughing and they have schizophrenia, their schizophrenia is severe. It's very severe. Most people I know or have known that have any form of schizophrenia do not have paradoxical laughing. So I just want to point that out because I'm not trying to attack anybody's mental health issues, but if they're severely schizophrenic, they will have that. Because basically, the videos I watched on paradoxical laughing and severe schizophrenia, basically they're insane, y'all. That's the person that's in the mental institution that just laughs all day for no reason. It's almost like the Lord kind of blessing them too and protecting them. I'd rather see somebody in a mental institution laughing all day than crying all day. I really would. If their severe mental illness is causing them to laugh all day, then that's better than them sitting there crying and wanting to commit suicide. So that's genuinely how I feel. So that's genuinely how I feel. So this unaware narcissist, he called because he thinks he's going to have some fun doing psychological warfare on me. And it would be fun for him because he believes that I didn't pick up on the passive aggressive attack. He doesn't know me. I'm always picking up on a passive aggressive attack. I have to pick it up. It's Scorpio nature. Even if I don't pick it up that day, it might be 10 years from now. I said, oh, dog, that's what such and such was doing. Oh my goodness, they was insulting me and I didn't even know it. Yeah, so but usually I will pick it up before 10 years, y'all. I mean, usually, especially since I'm an adult now. But yeah, so hopefully these examples, I gave you 3 examples in this video. Hopefully it helps you out a lot. So in summary, example number 1, the married man, he wants me to be an affair source of supply. I just stopped calling this man. I'm not calling and texting him. I don't care if I've known him since I've been a kid. Example number 2, the adopted nephew issue, an ex-coworker. I don't hear from him. I don't see him at all. And the unaware narcissist example number 3. I did not answer the phone call. Now, will the unaware narcissist know that I'm actually purposely not answering? No, he won't know that. He won't figure that out because he will be blinded to any intelligence that I have. To an unaware narcissist, I am not figuring him out. An unaware narcissist, he doesn't have the ability. He's actually the one with the low IQ. He doesn't have the ability to figure me out. he won't be able to, like, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. I had another Scorpio tell me, it was last year too. He said, Irene, you're very assertive and you're passive aggressive. But he's more aware. I'm not calling him a narcissist. I'm just saying he's aware. But an unaware narcissist, he will not be able to figure me out. See, the brother that called me last year, or the man that called me last year and said, just noticed that about my personality. And don't try to change your personality. If you're passive aggressive, that's what you should be. That's why you ain't never went to the penitentiary. It's better to be passive aggressive than to always be aggressive and get yourself locked up and get you some charges. You don't want to be aggressive. It's okay to be passive aggressive. That means you're controlling what you say, and it means you're a little intelligent. You're able to show somebody you pissed off at them without saying a word. Through being passive aggressive, I can speak and let you know I don't like what you're doing. I could look at you and let you know I don't like what you're doing, or I could not say nothing and you know. What's wrong with being passive aggressive? There's nothing wrong with it. But I'm bringing that up to say this. That man that noticed I'm passive aggressive and assertive, he's a smart man. Okay, he's a Scorpio too. He's smart. Only a Scorpio might could figure some of that out. And actually get me to agree to it. Okay. But an unaware narcissist, intellectually, he will believe, his narcissism will make him believe that I'm a dummy just because I'm a female. His narcissism will make him believe I am dumber than him just because he has a big home that he has a big old bill on too. He will believe he's smarter than me, he's stronger than me. And an unaware narcissist that's also kind of having some traits of being a misogynist. A lot of unaware narcissists, because of their inability to believe that a woman or lady can be intellectual, especially one that he does not consider a rich woman. Now, he likes concerts. When he see them famous women up there shaking their ass, and they got they talking about they made $1 million at that concert, he views them as intelligent, because this particular unaware narcissist, intelligence for him equals dollar signs. See, this unaware narcissist, he doesn't have enough, he's not very deep. All of him is on the surface. So he's a surface person. He doesn't go deep up under the water. So if you go deep up under the water, that's where you can drown, right? So an unaware narcissist, they don't go to where they can drown. He stays right up here. So for him, he won't be able to see or understand that I'm passive aggressive. He will only consider himself passive aggressive. So an unaware narcissist has the inability to notice your intelligence. Especially a male that's like a misogynist, they will say things like they're smarter than you. Most people are just not that smart. Ladies need help. They can't provide for themselves. They're very jealous spirited and deeply, deeply miserable. The part that goes very deep for this unaware narcissist is the misery that he has way down deep in that water that he doesn't want to deal with. And the way he doesn't deal with that misery is blaming everyone that rejects him. He blames them and say they crazy and they have a problem. And he uses money and buying properties and getting himself in debt to soothe himself so he doesn't feel the misery that he's really in. I can clearly feel it and see it. And that's one of the criterias I have is if I ever were to remarry or get a significant other, One of my criterias would be not to be with a miserable man. My man got to be a happy man. And I will know if he's a happy man. Okay. My intuition and seeing his fruits and how he behaves, I will know. And he will be tested over a period of time. So I will know that he's a happy man. But this particular unaware narcissist, example number 3, the man that I wouldn't marry, never intimate with, never would hang out with over the past few years, wouldn't go to his house. And all the women that he brings in his house, he abuses. I go over it in Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 1, 2, and 3. I talk about how he treats the women that come in his house. I'm not going to repeat it here because I want you to go watch those videos. But with this unaware narcissist, see, you learn the strategy all through the text messaging. And now you know the strategy of when they stop texting you and they want to get you on the phone. See, because what I provided to this unaware narcissist is what you call challenge fuel. So now I challenged him, like, wow, she didn't respond and say she's sad because she ain't got the money that that child has. Because see, I'm a private person. I don't discuss my finances with people in general. If you know anything about my finances, I consider you a relative. Okay, you're a relative. That's why you know. It's just something that's just off the table for me. Why am I discussing my finances? Why do I want to stress you out with what I got and ain't got? I'm stressing you out. That's not what a relationship is. Not a healthy one anyway. The unaware narcissist was constantly, this particular narcissist, example number 3, he was constantly telling me how much debt he's in. He got another bank loan. One of the sewage systems on one of the properties he's financing went down, so he had to go get another $30,000 loan. He's bringing me into his stressful ass life that he ain't trying to do anything about. So that's basically what that is with the unaware narcissist. So with the unaware narcissist, he's not going to recognize my passive aggressive trait because he views me as a fucking stupo. I'm a dumb bitch to him. When he called me and I didn't answer, he say, "Oh, that hoe probably sleep. Irene ass probably sleep." I don't think he's calling me hoes necessarily, but shit, I done turned him down enough for him to call me something behind my back, even if he mumbled it to himself after we got off the phone. But he said she probably sleep. That's why she ain't got no motherfucking properties. She probably sleep, or she'll call me back though. I'll get that bitch when she called me back. And I'm not gonna call him back because I already know he wants to enter into a psychological warfare. And believe it or not, no matter what personality type a friend is of mine, when I've known them for decades and decades, I haven't known this unaware narcissist since childhood, example number 3, but I've known him since I was a young lady. And so I don't want to create an enemy and really say anything mean to him. I just don't. My empathy tells me, leave it the way it is. You know, he showed a little disgruntledness and he's a little hurt because I turned him down. But it's people's right to do that though, right? See, it's my adult behaviors that are actually the opposite of a little girl that's annoying him. He could send me all the text messages of kids that he wants to, kids that he could send me a text message of a child that just bought a mansion. But at the end of the day, I am an adult lady. I'm a girl that does not need him for anything. There's no bill that I pay that I need to call and ask him for anything. He can't say I've ever asked him for any money. I never call him or text him and ask him for anything. So no matter what he texts me, I am a lady that is self sufficient and that is in her own residence, that I had to be approved to live here. I had to have a high enough credit score to rent this place, and I needed a down payment, and I needed to have a couple of jobs. I needed to have movers and everything, all that comes with renting or buying. You got to do the same thing when you rent now. Sometimes you put more money down when you rent than when you buy a house. That's just the truth of the matter. I know people that bought their house that paid less than I paid to rent. Seriously. So, unaware narcissists, they don't know what they are. When I debate and dispute, they're with the aware narcissists. See, I can hurt an aware narcissist through calmness and observation and just purely telling the truth. I sure can. But an unaware narcissist, the aware narcissist, they're not going to change per se, but an unaware narcissist, it's just a complete waste of time to talk to them and to say anything to them. It's nothing that they're going to be learning from it. You know what, y'all? I am going to be starting a playlist. I think I'm going to call it The Best of Victoria Unfiltered. And I was on her live this morning. You know, as a content creator and an influencer and YouTuber, I have to I have to support lives too. If I don't watch anyone's live, I'm not on there to copy their content. You're not going to watch Victoria Unfiltered and see me say anything that she said. If I do say anything she says, I'm going to tell you what she said and tell you that I agree with it or disagree with it. But I was on her live. So I'm going to be creating a playlist, The Best of Victoria Unfiltered. And you'll see on this live that she shouted me out. Actually, you know what? I'll put this live in the description box on this video. So I got to get me something to eat. So within about 30 minutes of this live ending, I'll have Victoria Unfiltered, the live that I was on this morning. And it's proof I was on there. She shouted me out. She said, "Hey, Advance." She's very sweet. I love her philosophies. She has her own way of doing things in her spiritual life, and that's her right to do things the way she wants to. But I love a lot of her ideas. She gives some great ideas. And so I woke up this morning, watching other YouTubers on their lives, they help me stay in the game and upload my lives. It's called motivation. They're still working, so I got to keep working. Lives are work now. It is work. You have to prepare. All this content I come up with myself. Okay, everything on this video, I had to think about it. I got my little list. Thank you so much for the likes. So yeah, Victoria Unfiltered. She did a wonderful live this morning, and yeah, she does a great job. Has been doing so for years. And you'll have to watch it. I'm not going to tell you what it was about because I'm not doing a reaction about it, so I don't want to spoil the live. But she did a really great job. And so I will be, always check the description box on my channel. And I'm going to be in the description box posting the live that I was on this morning. I'm going to be creating a playlist. I already have the playlist for narcissists and text messaging. Let me see if there's anything else that I want to go over. Let's see. Let's see. I don't see anything else. I just want to make sure I didn't forget anything. So thank you so much for y'all tuning into the live. Oh, I gotta remember this. Now, I promised y'all yesterday that when I would be doing this video, this is called Narcissist and Text Messaging Part 4. Check my shorts. I'll just put some additional videos for you to watch in the description box so you can see the highlights that YouTube does for me. And I'm so sad because some of those highlights I deleted on accident because I thought that they were my lives that I didn't complete. So if I saw that it was like 1 minute and 55 seconds for a live highlight, I deleted it thinking that it was something I was creating, but actually the whole time YouTube was creating it. So I'm so glad that I stopped deleting that. Lesson learned, y'all. Always listen to a video before you delete it. I don't care if it's 3 seconds. Listen to it first, then delete it. So that was the mistake I made when I deleted a few of those highlights. And then one of the highlights, I got like 1,576 views on it. And YouTube created that highlight for me and put it in private. And thank you, YouTube. I mean, how beautiful. I mean, YouTube picks something out, however way they figure it out. Their AI system or their human beings picked out parts of my lives, made it a live highlight, and gives me the opportunity to release it to the public, give it a name, and add things in the description box. Wow, how nice. So I'm glad I didn't just go through and delete all of them, but some of them I did delete. Okay, so and I won't be able to get those back because I would have to ask YouTube within a certain time frame to get those back. So they're gone now because I clicked delete and I didn't know what they were. So I'm glad I stopped deleting those. So and the reason I stopped deleting them is because they weren't just showing up for me so obvious. I had to go to my live videos and I had to click on manage videos to notice how many of them that was there. So they were kind of hidden to me, which I'm kind of glad that they were hidden to me because it made me not just delete a bunch of them. Okay. So anyway, that's the thing with that. So I will give me like an hour, y'all, to get this stuff in the description box, right? Today, give me like an hour because I'm very hungry. Thank you so much for your patience, for having confidence in me and not unsubscribing because I came in and had a delay on the narcissist and text messaging. Part 4. This is narcissist and text messaging part 4. Oh, one more thing. For those of y'all that were not on the live, you can leave a comment in the live asking me for text messaging advice. Just text messaging advice. So you can copy and paste a copy of the text message that someone sent you. Make sure you clarify that it is a copy of a text message so YouTube doesn't think you're trying to personally abuse me. And I will answer the question in the comment and give you the advice on what I think it means, what they want, and what you should do about it. So since you weren't able to make it on the live, and anyone that's on the live right now, if you want to ask text messaging questions, this video is specific to text messaging questions. If you want to ask text messaging questions, let me know. Okay, you can type it right now, but I don't think nobody's going to be coming in. People will watch it later. Please like, share, and subscribe. Okay. I love y'all so much, and I will be adding this to the narcissist and text messaging playlist. Okay. Narcissist and text messaging playlist, y'all. This video will be in there. Fourth video for narcissist and text messaging. I put in the work. And thank you to my viewers and subscribers. Thank you, YouTube, for allowing little old me to be here on this platform. I'm very grateful. Oh, since there's a person that came in, do you have any questions in the chat on text messaging? Click yes or no. Put a chat yes or no if you want to ask a text message question. Ask a text message question, and I will they left, so they don't have a text message question. So if you want to ask a text message question, just type yes, so I'll stay on here. Check yes in the chat. Thank you so much for the likes. Yay, I got 3 likes. I love a small channel, y'all, because I'm more grateful for my likes. You know why? I feel like when I get a few likes, I really earned them. I really do. It's like if you have a small store and, one of your customers, you had 35 customers in your small store that day, and one of them says, "Your store is beautiful. I love your product." You feel like it's genuine, right? Because only one of your 35 customers actually said it. So it feels more special, when you have a small channel. It does. I really bond with my channel. So no question on text messaging. It's fine. No question on text messaging. If you have one, leave it in the comments. Leave it in the comments, okay? I gotta ask Victoria Unfiltered why I was not able to comment in her live. She makes her lives, she turns the comments off for her lives. But she has a bigger platform. I think she's had a lot of trolls in the past. But the next time I'm on one of her lives, I'm going to say, "Victoria, I wanted to leave a comment in your lives, and on all your lives, you have your comments off." And I'm going to ask her why. And, but she's been on her platform a long time. She has a lot of subscribers, thousands and thousands and thousands. And so she's really popular. I love her. And she motivated me this morning. I got to keep learning too. So I got to keep learning. You know what Victoria Unfiltered does too? Whatever is in my spirit and energy, and it's something that I'm dealing with, she won't even know I'm having that problem or that concern. And she'll talk about it in one of her videos. Like the Lord just sent me to her, right? And she talks about the creator. She calls the Lord in heaven the creator. She sure does. And she has a mixed type of diverse spiritual beliefs. A lot of people, they're ignorant, so they'll just say she's like a witch, right? She's not. I don't view her as a witch at all, but she has taken different religious concepts and kind of mixed them together so it fits her soul. And I do that as well. There's Zen Buddhism concepts that I like, Islamic beliefs, Christian beliefs, and my own beliefs. Sometimes your soul just ain't set on one thing. And I learned something from all religions. And over time, I even started editing my prayers. Like, on prayer apps, I say, well, I can't say that. That doesn't apply to me. Or I have to add something to my prayer. Especially them depressed ass prayers, y'all. The prayer app, it'll bring up that prayer. Yeah. Thank you, Lord, because I'm just old, lonely, and ugly today. Lord, I know I'm a piece of shit, but please help me stop being a piece of shit. Oh, Lord, I know that you're the only one that can stop me from being a piece of shit. I can't do a damn thing for myself, Lord. Please help me, Lord. I had to edit those prayers, y'all. That prayer, there's prayers that are basically that way, right? And some of those I'm noticing are being removed from apps. They are. Some of those, I don't know if people write in and complain and they say, you know what? After my uncle a aunt prayed that prayer, they committed suicide, dog. Could you please not put that online? But also another thing that I'm removing from specific prayers is the constant name of devil or the devil or Satan. Now, in the Lord's Prayer, you're asking to be delivered from the evil one, right? But my oldest son, you know what Isaiah does? He replaces the evil word with toxic. He says, "Deliver me from the toxic one." So, and sometimes I'll do that. I took his suggestion. I said, "Wow," because see, when you say in the Lord's Prayer, toxic is evil in general. If something's toxic, it's a form of evil. It's immoral or it's bad. So I'll give you an example of how Isaiah's prayer will go. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the toxic one. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. So, and then for the beginning of it, I'll edit this. So notice how it says, Our Father which art in heaven. Sometimes I'll say, Father God. Okay. So what I've learned to do is edit my prayers, and I write my own prayers as well. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll go online and I'll look up prayer for the day. So I like diversity in my prayer. And then with some of like the Islamic prayers, any prayer, Christian, Islamic, any part of that prayer that does not sit right with your spirit, edit it. It's not a sin to do that. The Lord ain't mad with you because the Lord knows your intentions. If you're taking Satan out of your prayer or the devil name out of your prayer because you telling the Lord, I don't want to give the devil or Satan much attention, Lord, then the Lord understands that. So going back to what I was saying with Victoria Unfiltered, and I'm going to put her video of the live I was on in the description box below. You know, for years when I first started my channel, I would be careful with not talking about certain YouTubers because I knew that they were filled with information and knowledge. But you know what? The Lord is showing me that I got to stop doing that because this is Advanced Insight channel, right? And I'm supposed to be exposing you. If somebody's smarter than me, I'm supposed to tell you about them. Or they're equally as knowledgeable and they're teaching something that I can't teach and they do it in a better way. I got to let go of that insecurity. If I keep being scared to tell y'all about Victoria Unfiltered, then I am an insecure lady. I am. And not only am I insecure, I'm an insecure business lady because on my YouTube platform, I got to let that go, especially if I'm going to have it named Advanced, right? Advanced Insight Channel. And, you know, when I was on Victoria Live, she mentions Advanced on her live. She called me out. She said, hi, Advanced. And she answered, you know, I participated in the chat. When I'm on a live, I participate in the chat. And so Victoria Unfiltered, you know, the way she says advanced, she reminds me that I should not be insecure. So, but I was scared, you know, back then. I only had like 80 subscribers. Now I got enough subscribers. I got the amount of subscribers that a very large high school would have. So, and when I do my video encouraging you to start your own YouTube channel, I will be discussing that, how to view. So many people don't start their channels because they really compare their channel to like 1 million subscribers instead of comparing their channel to a very large high school. When you go to a very large high school, it's like 500 to 1,000 people there, very large high school. So you should view your channel like Everybody in that school subscribed. So I'll go over that in that video. But anyway, I will be posting this video, of course, is about narcissists and text messaging. That was the primary subject that I talked about for an hour and 50 minutes, almost 2 hours. I discussed narcissists and text messaging part 4. I see 4 people in here. So do y'all have any questions on text messaging? You can type a text message that someone sent you. If you want to ask a text messaging question, please click like. Or not, don't click like, type yes, type yes in the chat if you have a text messaging question. Because this video was about narcissism and text messaging part 4. The description box is going to be a little juicy, y'all. It's going to be a little juicy. I'm going to have several videos, and I'm going to be coming out of my little insecurity and my little fear, telling y'all about Victoria Unfiltered. Okay. I shouldn't be scared I'm going to lose anybody, because I tell y'all about another good lady that has knowledge, some knowledge she has that I don't have. And I have knowledge that she doesn't have. If she watch my lives, it's going to be things I talk about that'll help her too. See how I uplifted my self-esteem over here? Yes, indeed. Y'all got a question about text messaging? Narcissists and text messaging part 4, y'all. Come on. If you think of the question after the live ends, just leave it in the comments, because I allow you to leave comments. I click my comment option on for my lives. Victoria, she has hers off for right now, but she's experienced a lot of abuse and trolls. And her platform's larger. So larger platforms are different. For me, I should be able to handle 1 troll or 3 trolls or 5 trolls. Okay. It's the benefit of a channel being smaller. Okay. Y'all got any text messaging questions? If you're just coming in when this live ends, watch this video from the beginning to end, and then check out my shorts, y'all. Since y'all just came in, YouTube has been making live highlights for me, where they pick out something from my live that they thought was cool, and they create a video that's under 3 minutes on it, and they put it in my managed video history and allow me to release it to the public, y'all. I done got like 1,500 views in my shorts on one of those videos. One is of my son saying, yes, ma'am. And the other one is me talking shit about what to do if your teenage child call you a damn Jezebel after church. YouTube highlighted that shit. Me talking that crazy ass Scorpio shit. Damn, Scorpios talk crazy as hell. We not crazy, but we talk crazy. But we always got good sense, even when we talking crazy. So please like, share, and subscribe. Text messaging questions. I'm going to wait a few minutes. I'm going to give you like 5 minutes to think of it, y'all. I'm going to give you a few minutes. This live has been 2 minutes. 2 hours and 9 minutes. Please like, share, and subscribe. Well, everybody went away. Let me give them another minute or two. And like I said, you can put your questions in the comments. Yes, indeed. You sure can. I'm going to be creating the best of Victoria in my playlist. I'm going to be adding videos to the description box. I also got my narcissist and text messaging playlist. This will be the 4th live video at that in that playlist. So any questions, y'all? Narcissist and text messaging, or what's very much possible is the type of text message you got is similar to one of my examples. So you may not have a question because I covered it, huh? I done already told you what the game is. Show have. I shows did. Or when I got to the West Coast, I started saying, I surely did. But the St. Louis me, when I was a child, I shows did. I shows did. You know, when I was very, very young, I used to call my grandma, I used to call my mom Mama Nancy, and I would call my grandma when I was very, very young. I'm talking about like 4 or 5 around there. I used to call my Grandma Nettie. Then when we got older, everybody, my grandma's just Nettie, right? But when I was very, very young, I used to call my grandmother Grandma Nettie. I was like 8 and under. And I remember I was very, very young, but my grandmother, like when she would ask me questions, we really bonded. My grandmother, when I was like little, I wish I had those photos. A storage destroyed the photos, but I had this one little cute photo. I was in my grandmother's restaurant and she was smiling at me on the photo, looking at me like I was some kind of little angel, right? On that photo, I think I was about 4 or 5. I had on some little I had on a tank top and some little red shorts. And my grandmother had the little sweetest little smile at me. But I remember I used to pronounce words like this. So if my grandma asked me a question, I would say, yes, I shows did. And then what else would I say? Like when they taped my 7th birthday party, and they said they confirmed I was 7, and they said, "How old are you, Renee or Irene?" I said 7. You know, all the words with that St. Louis accent, with that Midwestern accent, all your words are like long. Yes, and your tone is soft. You know, I shows did. And yeah, you know, me and my grandma, we was tight back in the younger days. So then, you know, over time she becomes more addicted to her restaurant, and, you know, things kind of faded off a little bit. I always love her. One thing I always say for my grandmother Nettie is that there was never any time in my life where I did not have a place to live. And I'm grateful for that. Because when I got grown and I got displaced, I was living in my SUV. The first day of my displacement, I had $12, y'all. Just a little $12 on me. And I cried in that car. But you know what I cried about? My grandmama's money. I said, please. I was crying like a baby. I said, oh, Grandma Nettie, I miss your money. Oh, I wanted her money back, y'all. Then I caught myself, right? I dried up my tears. I say, I'm crying about my grandmama's money. What the fuck? But I knew right then that was karma, and that was a spiritual lesson that I was supposed to learn. I was supposed to learn that now. See, because my whole life I've devalued her money because of her addiction to it. But the spirit world had to show me that there is some value in my grandmother's money. I never lived in poverty, never had to wait on a welfare check, never waited on no food stamps, didn't even have to stand in line for a meal. I had it brought to me, carried to me. Basically, servants was feeding me. My grandma would say, you take my granddaughter Irene a plate upstairs. She needs one big old piece of fried chicken because she's skinny. And I'll just give her a big old piece. She need to give her the biggest piece of fried chicken I got back there. And me and Shauna would wait. We was like little dogs upstairs because we was some lazy motherfuckers, boy. Me and Shauna was lazy as fuck. We'd be sleeping and primping and painting our nails. And we'd be starving, but we too motherfucking lazy. We got a whole steam table downstairs, but we some lazy little girls. So we sit up in that room. We would clean up now. We would do that. We would clean up. We wasn't no messy ass girls. We would clean up, and We would be like little dogs when they would knock. Shauna and Irene, y'all in there? Checking to see if we dead. Shit. We say, yes. Your grandmother sent some fried chicken to both of you. And we run to the door like little dogs, a little back door. And I said, Shauna, a piece of fried chicken. And we be happy as could be. You know, so again, please like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe. I got a call coming in. That's the thing, y'all. You know, another thing that I'll be going over with starting your own YouTube channel and starting your own businesses, YouTube platforms, whatever you want to start. That will be all inclusive. You got to get off that phone. See, these phones be coming in, and I got this channel. So, yeah. And I'm going to be respectful. I'm not going to answer that call right now because that person, I mean, it's covered under my fair use. If I answered it and she's in this live, it's nothing she could do. And even in the policing world, I mean, somebody catches you in a live, it's not much they could do. But please like, share, and subscribe. Fair use, y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. And tune in for more right here with the Advanced Insight channel. And make sure you check the description box. Please share the video. And I will be sharing my video as well. I'm going to go on my platforms, and I am going to be sharing my own video. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye. I love y'all. I did it. Narcissist and text messaging, part 4. Thank you for helping the channel. Thank you for learning. Take some notes. Take some notes. I encourage you to take notes. Pen and paper, y'all. Pen and paper.